What were the kind of like beginnings of you starting to feel like things in your life could be different despite all of this external success?
So when I started to explore this, my business was probably doing like 3 million in revenue, and maybe we had, I don't know, 15 or 20 people working at my company. My personal brand was growing. I was being asked to speak at, places like Google and things like that to a bunch of executives and big audiences and things like that. And I just started to notice that things like I would get anxiety a couple of times a week or whatever. Like you make $1 million and you think it's going to change your life. And then you're like, oh, but I don't feel differently. I guess it must have been $10 million, right? It's just not enough yet. And so I started to seek out for solutions. I was like, this doesn't feel right. Like I want to explore this further. And it was really at the crux, it was to solve my anxiety. It was getting in the way of me living my life. I started just doing like the most basic, journaling routine where you write down like, three goals, three things you're grateful for, and three things that you're going to do that day or whatever people do. And then over time, I started to iterate on the process and I continued to iterate on it until it was basically like a system that I would use every 90 days to evaluate my life, score it on these different dimensions, build out a plan of where I want to go and have a clear vision of where I want to go. And then I had a very intentional routine about getting clear on who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing and what I believe about the world. And then I looked up in 2024 and I was like, wow, I've built this massive company. Wow, I never feel anxiety anymore. Right? I haven't felt guilty for not working in multiple years, which I used to feel like that all the time, every time I went on vacation. And so these emotional symptoms were totally gone.
I feel really excited by all of these things that you're saying. And there's also a part of me that is aware that you've founded this product and you want people to know that it works. You've put all this effort into it, and like ultimately it's out there in the market, and you want people to buy it. And so I'm not sure if it's like that part that like is making me feel skeptical, or there's a part of me that feels skeptical over what you're saying, because it's almost like, could this be like, this feels too good to be true. And like when I look around at all the people in my life and even the people who are like financially successful, I just don't have a model for this. And I'm sure a lot of people are listening thinking the same thing. Like, this guy's out here, he's on this podcast, he's trying to sell a product, he's telling me all these things. Like, could this be true? I've never seen it.
Would you say that if someone had the level of commitment and intentionality, a long enough time horizon, that anyone could get into top 1% shape in their fitness?
I don't know, because, everyone's biology is different. So if we're talking about fitness, like,
Okay,
I think that
let's say express their maximum potential in fitness.
yeah, with commitment. I think that's the thing, consistency and commitment.
Sure, but with the like we understand it in fitness, right? Like if I do the reps and I follow a plan and I am committed to doing it, then I will experience these benefits. I will get stronger. My hormones will be better. I'll have better energy. I will regulate my emotions more effectively, right? My hormones will optimize in a different way. There are all of these proven things that happen when we train our body in particular ways. What if the same thing was true, that if we take an intentional plan to train the neural pathways in our mind, which by the way, proven by science, our neural pathways are malleable. It's an innate human capability that we all have. So that if we train the neural pathways in our mind in order to experience the world differently and see ourselves differently automatically, that creates more regulation in our nervous system. We also expand the capacity of our nervous system because we're not wasting so much energy in fight or flight mode that's invisible. Then can make the next connection on science that it's proven that if we have a more powerful nervous system measured by heart rate variability and a variety of other measurements, we make better decisions. We access our intuition more reliably. We have better cognitive performance and athletic performance. Those are all proven by science, and emotional regulation. It's proven already. And so all we've done is really just take three existing sets of science that have been individual, and we've connected them together in a way that no one has before.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it's not even that I'm skeptical about. Like, I understand, yeah, humans are neuroplastic. We're wired for change. Yeah, I think the thing for me that I'm kind of like, does this stuff actually work? Because it sounds to me like what you're talking about is just a different. It's like a different flavor of manifestation. You're bringing to fruition that which you desire, like rewiring your neural circuits and like your nervous system and your perceptive tools to actually seek those things out. And then that changes your behavior. So that'll kind of like make sense to me. I think the thing for me that is like, it's just the consistency piece. Like I think consistency is really challenging for humans. I think we live in a time where we want instantaneous results.
Actually, humans are wildly consistent. You consistently react negatively in a certain way when someone says something to you. You consistently say that you're going to do something and then you don't do it, right? So people are actually very consistent. They're just consistent with their within their own existing subconscious programs. And the reason is because 95% of them run on autopilot. It's true that the people that tend to have the most success with our system right now are that people that have already demonstrated in their life before that commitment and consistency over a long period of time is what drives actual benefits and results in changing your life. The people that are looking for the snap their fingers and have something, or to go to an ayahuasca ceremony and change their life, those people fail in our system. It's true. But I disagree with the idea that people are not consistent. It's just what you choose to be consistent on.
Yeah.
And I've been someone before that said, I'm going to go to the gym on Tuesday after work and then not go. Anyone can do this if they want to.
Yes, humans are consistent in their bad habits. Like humans are consistent in whatever habits that they have. Like obviously we're consistent in that we get out of bed every morning and go to sleep at night, or maybe some of us don't, but then we're consistent in that. And, maybe I'm like telling on myself here because this is all just a projection of what I think that my shit is. And it's just hard to like commit to doing something when there's so many other things that you feel like you should be doing. Like it kind of like it ends up being another thing that you need to add to the routine.
I mean, when I was scaling my business, I was one of the top busiest people out there. Because I have no time between the meetings, I could barely take a piss between meetings. Right? I could barely I just eat lunch with my business partner while we did a business meeting. I had to do all of the creative and strategic work on Saturday and Sunday because my calendar was jammed full while I'm scaling my 40-person business that relies on me. I had to get up at 4:30 in the morning just so I could go to the gym, which I needed to be able to even have the energy to do all of the other things. Right? I have no time for social activities. I had barely any time. Maybe on a holiday, I would go and see my family. I was difficult to take a vacation for 3 days or something might burn down, right? I'm super busy. Majority of people do not realize how much time they waste second guessing themselves, not making a choice that they knew they should, not leaving a relationship or leaving a city, and they wait on it for 3 or 6 months before they actually make a decision, even they know it's right for them, right? How much time they waste not being consistent and going for the life that they want to live. Those types of things are actually incredibly expensive on a variety of different dimensions. If you have never exercised before, some people find it energizing. They do it for a couple days and they're like, I love this. And then they keep going. Other people, it feels really hard. People can feel it in different ways. But what I'm posing here is that it's the same thing as doing a 20-minute exercise routine every day. It's just working a different part of your body that's actually more foundational to your mental and physical well-being. Sure, people achieve greater results by using this, but I don't view it as a manifestation technique. That I view it as a process of getting clear on where you want your life to go and to train the things inside of you to align with that life, right? So some people would be like, oh, like that's manifestation. The people that attempt manifestation, at least from my perspective, are the people that want something easy and fast. The reality is that I've achieved a lot in my life, and I realized very clearly that whenever I looked for something that was easy and fast, it never worked. It actually cost me a lot of money. It's not some type of quick fix where we meditate for a couple of minutes and make $1 million. Whoever it was posted their calendar and it had like 17 meetings in 30 increments from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. And they're like, look at me, I'm being so efficient. But what is the definition of efficiency? The definition of efficiency is the maximum output for the minimum inputs. The second part is related to identity and self-worth. So many people, including myself in the past, and tons of data on founders and people that go through the Encoded system. People have an identity of I have to hold everything together. I'm the person that has to hold everything together, and I'm only as valuable as the output that I produce or what the clients think or something related to those types of identity-based subconscious programs. So when you feel those programs, it drives you to specific behaviors and feelings. Those things are overworking, filling up your calendar in order to feel important, not delegating effectively, so micromanaging and things like that. And it leads you to feel specific feelings like not being present at dinner with your family because you're half thinking about the things that you need to do, not being able to be fully present with your kid because you're like you have to spend all your time on the laptop and you're like, yeah, Jimmy, do what you're doing over there and not be fully present with your children. And that comes from an identity based program, and you can shift that, right? Like, I'm just providing an example that worked for me, which is that I'm a visionary leader who empowers and inspires others. I create environments where others thrive and grow. When you can fully internalize that, you just run a new program. It's like you have an opportunity to jump in and do something. And it's like, no, I create environments where others thrive and grow. This is not even something that I would consider doing.
So you've talked a lot about the subconscious programming, what's going on in the kind of like basement of the mind. But if we look at it from like a Freudian perspective, then the unconscious is that which you can never know, because anything that you do know that you think is going on subconsciously is actually being filtered through your conscious mind. So I wonder, like with your program and other things that are similar, when it comes to reprogramming what's happening in the subconscious, like how can you do that if like you can't actually access that?
So, as you raise your level of awareness, right? So, my estimate is about 80 to 90% of people have no awareness of this, even this concept overall. So, what they view is this is normal. It's normal that life works this way. That I'm stressed. That I'm working all the time. That I can't get ahead. That whatever, right? So, and when they think that it's normal, they don't look any deeper and they don't seek out solutions. So there's actually just a smaller subset of the population right now that would even consider the idea of looking deeper. So what we've done at Encoded is we've built a system that models process that I used over 3 months and compacted it into an AI system that unearths the stuff in 45 to 90 minutes. And when people see the report that's in there, a majority of people say, whoa, like I've never felt more seen before. I've never felt more clear on the actual stuff, because it tells you the real stuff about who you believe you are and what are the things that are actually holding you back that you believe that you think are facts but aren't. And so the level of speed and accessibility and cost effectiveness is just like orders of magnitude greater than what the previous methods were. And that is actually the hardest part, right? Like writing stuff down in a journal, like getting a generic affirmation, like I am abundant, right? Like it's not getting to the thing that's actually there. And so when it's generic, what happens is you have cognitive dissonance, you have a confliction between the thing that you're telling yourself versus the thing that's actually down there. And when that conflict happens, you never believe the actual thing, and it actually backfires and it lowers your self-efficacy because you tried something and it didn't work. That is the hardest part, is actually finding out what's down there and being aware of it. So that's the innovation in the system.
Final question before we wrap up. What is something that you have drastically changed your mind about over the last 5-10 years?
We'll say over the last 10 years. The switch is really one, realizing that a lot of the things that you currently believe are not that might be confused as facts to you right now are not even yours. That you didn't choose them; they were given to you. About what beauty means, right? Most people don't choose what beauty means; they get told what it means by magazines and everything like that. So to one, realize that these things are there that you didn't even choose, and then to realize, oh, I can actually choose this for myself. I can actually choose what attractiveness means. I can choose what a great relationship actually means, right? We get told what a relationship should be like from movies and Taylor Swift songs and, rappers talking about stuff. Like we get programmed with how things should go from all these different areas. that we can choose those things for ourselves.
Mhm.
And when we do, what happens is that we begin the process of intentionally designing our life based on what we actually want.